I continue my reading of Pope Benedict XVI's encyclical letter entitled Caritas in Veritate, which is to say, Integral Human Development in Charity and Truth. I begin this segment at number 38 in chapter 3. The title of the chapter is Fraternity, Economic Development and Civil Society. I shall read numbers 38 and 39. Number 38. My predecessor, Pope John Paul II, drew attention to this question in Centesimus Annus, when he spoke of the need for a system with three subjects: the market, the state, and civil society. He saw civil society as the most natural setting for an economy of gratuitousness and fraternity, but did not mean to deny it a place in the other two settings. Today we can say that economic life must be understood as a multi-layered phenomenon. In every one of these layers, to varying degrees and in ways specifically suited to each, the aspect of fraternal reciprocity must be present. In the global era, economic activity cannot prescind from gratuitousness, which fosters and disseminates solidarity and responsibility for justice and the common good among the different economic players. It is clearly a specific and profound form of economic democracy. Solidarity is first and foremost a sense of responsibility on the part of everyone with regard to everyone, and it cannot therefore be merely delegated to the state. While in the past it was possible to argue that justice had to come first and gratuitousness could follow afterwards as a complement, today it is clear that without gratuitousness there can be no justice in the first place. What is needed, therefore, is a market that permits the free operation in conditions of equal opportunity of enterprises in pursuit of different institutional ends. Alongside profit-oriented private enterprise and the various types of public enterprise, there must be room for commercial entities based on mutualist principles and pursuing social ends to take root and express themselves. It is from their reciprocal encounter in the marketplace that one may expect hybrid forms of commercial behavior to emerge, and hence an attentiveness to ways of civilizing the economy. Charity and truth, in this case, requires that shape and structure be given to those types of economic initiative which, without rejecting profit, aim at a higher goal than the mere logic of the exchange of equivalents of profit as an end in itself. Number 39. Pope Paul VI, in Populorum Progressio, called for the creation of a model of market economy capable of including within its range all peoples and not just the better off. He called for efforts to build a more human world for all, a world in which all will be able to give and receive without one group making progress at the expense of the other. In this way, he was applying on a global scale the insights and aspirations contained in Rerum Novarum, written when, as a result of the Industrial Revolution, the idea was first proposed, somewhat ahead of its time, that the civil order, for its self-regulation, also needed intervention from the state for purposes of redistribution. Not only is this vision threatened today by the way in which markets and societies are opening up, but it is evidently insufficient to satisfy the demands of a fully humane economy. What the Church's social doctrine has always sustained, on the basis of its vision of man and society, is corroborated today by the dynamics of globalization. When both the logic of the market and the logic of the state come to an agreement that each will continue to exercise a monopoly over its respective area of influence, in the long term much is lost. Solidarity in relations between citizens, participation and adherence, actions of gratuitousness, all of which stand in contrast with giving in order to acquire, the logic of exchange, and giving through duty, the logic of public obligation imposed by state law. In order to defeat underdevelopment, action is required not only on improving exchange-based transactions and implanting public welfare structures, but above all on gradually increasing openness in a world context to forms of economic activity marked by quotas of gratuitousness and communion. The exclusively binary model of market plus state is corrosive of society, while economic forms based on solidarity, which find their mutual home in civil society without being restricted to it, build up society. The market of gratuitousness does not exist, and attitudes of gratuitousness cannot be established by law. Yet both the market and politics need individuals who are open to reciprocal gift. In my next segment, I shall continue the encyclical, beginning with number 40.